229. Hello, hashtag Verse TV family, and welcome. It's week 229. I'm Aaron Mack, and I'm here with my good friend Kevin, aka CVC, Basic Complexity. And today, I actually will, for order, okay? I will take it away with our number share program, okay? So the first two presses, and it's rolling. See, these, I am going to answer this one. Sometimes it asks very open-ended questions. And the question is, do you celebrate it? It can be anything. So the answer is yes. And what is it? And it doesn't ask me to say what it is, but I'm learning to celebrate and love. I know, you guys. I know self-love is a journey, okay? And I'm learning to love myself. Like I had a bit of a fall that I had to stay on the ground for a moment before I picked myself up, but I was able to get up. Hallelujah. And while I was on the ground, I was like, Aaron, I love you. You can do it. And I did it. Yay. Okay. Anyway, Basic Complexity, your new song, my friend.
Right. My new song, actually, and it's a song that grew on me. A song by Usher, actually, and the song is called Boyfriend. And the music video in particular, that's what really got my attention because it features Keke Palmer. And yeah, it's just like she is from singing or singing, not necessarily singing, but she approaches it from the mindset of the guy or boyfriend. So overall, I like the song.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. Nice. So my older song is none other than July 3rd, 2012's song by an artist that Kevin stands for. Kevin is a stan of this artist, but he capes for this artist. He capes for the artist, Chris Brown. And the song is Turn Up the Music from his album Fortune. And yes, on one of my exercise walks at night, when I walk up and down the hall, Google Music played it for me. Like Google Music does a really good job playing songs that you like. And Google just randomly played that song. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love this song. And that was recent, but it's an older song. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love that song. And Chris Brown has done some amazing stuff. And really quickly, I will say, I've heard people argue that if Chris Brown didn't have the Rihanna situation, his outstanding talent would have led him to being Beyonce level, male Beyonce level. And I don't necessarily agree with that. I do agree with the fact that Chris Brown is exceptionally talented. He is. What I don't necessarily agree with is, see, when the Rihanna thing happened, the music executives were all like, no, 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 hands off. I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. And because of stuff like that, Chris Brown was able to delve into his music and make his stuff the way that he wanted to make it,
Yes.
you know, because they were all hands off. They were like, nah, F him, throw him to the woods, we're done, you know? But if that didn't happen, and if they were still like trying to guide him what to do, how to be, stuff like that, I don't think necessarily that he would have developed quite the way he would have, because they would have been like, no, you need to be like this cookie cutter. That's gonna be what works for you, you know? Anyway, Chris Brown is exceptionally talented. Rihanna is exceptionally talented as well. And also, right before the show, Kevin actually gave me a song that I have been, when it was brand new right before the Chris Brown and Rihanna fiasco, and it was actually getting play on the radio. And I was like, oh, I love this song. Yes, this like whenever it would come on, I would jam. And all of a sudden, the Chris Brown Rihanna thing happened, and all radio was like immediately never playing it again. And I was like, what is that song? And all of these years, I didn't know what it was. But Kevin, being the Chris Brown caper that he is, I'm just being silly. But Kevin actually was like, that song is, why did I forget the name of it just that fast? What is it?
Is it Bad Girl?
Yes,
yeah, right.
Bad Girl, Rihanna and Chris Brown. And I was wondering for a long time, why in the world it wasn't on anybody's album? And well, no, I didn't wonder why it wasn't, because I was like, I assumed it was taken off because of the whole Chris Brown Rihanna thing. And I was like, oh, well, it was a lead single, but it was canceled. But it was actually a song from a soundtrack, Confessions of a Shopper or something. But yeah, you know, that's actually a song from the soundtrack, and I love that song. So thank you, Kevin. Anyway, all right, that's my older song. Now, it's that time of year. Yeah. Yeah, time of showing appreciation to our hashtag VerseTV family. So first, and it's not ranking at all, it's just thank you, okay? So today being the last Monday of the month, United States, thank you. Belgium, thank you. Germany, thank you. Egypt, thank you. Peru, thank you. United Kingdom, thank you. Argentina, thank you. Chile, thank you. Montenegro, thank you. Thank you. Montenegro, thank you. China, thank you. Yes, thank you all for being in the hashtag VerseTV family. You are valued and appreciated. Wasn't that a song by Tupac? I know it is. You are appreciated. Don't you know you're appreciated? I can't think of it. Sorry. Anyway, all right. So, also the titles for this week are hashtag clever reuniting and hashtag NSYNC. hashtag HeyShorty229, hashtag age gaps, subtitle hashtag dating, hashtag peak ranks, subtitle hashtag Beyonce. Basic Complexity, are you ready to get this show on the road, my friend?
Yeah.
Hashtag Clever Reuniting at The Fresh Nostalgia at Head on Fire Pod. Hashtag VersTV229A.
Somebody come get Chris Kirkpatrick.
We were talking about the rivalries between the boy bands.
Oh yeah.
Y'all had one with kind of like the Backstreet.
Who?
Yeah. It was between the fans.
Right.
A kid starts to grow up, and one kid goes, "Hey, I like the Backstreet Boys," and the other kid goes, "Well, I don't want to like what they like, so I'm gonna like NSYNC or 98 Degrees or O-Town."
I'm not gonna lie though, when I saw, album sales hit a certain mark, I was like, okay, now we gotta get to music stores and we see this big display of NSYNC, and then we go, well, where's our rightfully
There it is. Wait. You guys can walk into music stores?
Hey, we're all gay here, right? I was just as excited as everybody else was when I heard that NSYNC was doing a reunion. But now that I have had some time to sit with the reality that these men are gonna be singing and more importantly, dancing on stage, I'm just wondering if that excitement was possibly misplaced. Before you come for me, I need you to understand that the first two albums that I ever purchased with my own money when I was 16 and got my first job were Britney Spears and NSYNC. And I listened to those albums until the CDs didn't CD anymore, right? Like I listened to all of the albums. I know all the songs. I could still probably sing almost all of them from memory. Like loved NSYNC. But like as a gay millennial, I loved NSYNC. They were sexy puppets, right? Like they were sexy puppets. They're dads now. And I'm not saying like dads can't be sexy, but I'm saying like, are they sexy in the way that like we want NSYNC to be sexy? I'm 37, like I'm not as old as they are. But I know if I tried to do sexy puppet, my back would not let me do that for very long. And like, are all five of those guys gonna sexy puppet on stage? Because like you're not going to NSYNC for the vocals. Like let's just be real, right? Let's be real. You're not going to NSYNC for vocals. You're going to Backstreet Boys for vocals. Sure, maybe even 98 Degrees for vocals. JC Chasez can only carry these people for so long. I love Lance Bass, but what's he gonna do on that stage? Like we summoned this, we did this to ourselves. But did we think it through? Did we think through what the reality of an NSYNC reunion was gonna mean? Because I saw that video of Justin dancing. And he was the best one. All five of them are gonna be doing it on stage. And then if they're not dancing, if they don't dance, why are we going? I mean, I'm still probably gonna go, but I'm gonna feel a little sad about it. Thank you, goodbye. Go. But I'm gonna feel a little sad about it. Thank you, goodbye.
All right. So, first, I will say, one, as far as Lance Bass, our fellow, all of us are in that community, right? But Lance Bass can still dance, like with ease. Like I follow Lance Bass, we follow Lance Bass on Instagram, and Lance Bass will do some posts actually dancing around sometimes. Like I saw some post that recently was made, and I don't know if it was on his personal page or somebody's page, but he was dancing around with a woman and another man, and I was like, okay, he's still got it. You know, they were doing the moves from Bye, 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 bye. And also, as far as, yes, I know. But as far as vocals, I love NSYNC's vocals. So I think that Backstreet, they perhaps can, dare I say, give a little more, but do not sleep on NSYNC's vocals. They're not just dragged by JC Chasez. And I know that's your PG County brother. I get it, but, they are also quite good, the guys of NSYNC. And also, as far as Chris Kirkpatrick, I always, I don't, I don't think it's correct to be like, oh, here's my favorite. Like, I didn't really pick favorites in NSYNC. Like, I wasn't that with them, but I did like the fact that Chris Kirkpatrick was always like the wise, smart aleck one a little bit. Like, and I still remember when they went on TRL, and one time that they went on, one of the many times that they went on TRL, and he wore the hat that said NSYNC, and he was like, yeah, because everybody's like NSYNC, so I was like, why not, And he's laughing all the way to the bank, I'm sure, and it is what it is. And as far as the first video where he was talking about, yes, the guy from, I think he was from 98 Degrees, talking about how when I went to the record comp store and we'd see these big NSYNC displays, I was like, where are the 98 Degrees displays? And he was like, you all were actually able to go to record stores back then? And they were like, yeah, because it was pandemonium. From us millennials, it was, And as far as the second video, yeah, NSYNC can do the stand up and sing thing. I still remember one, they had a Christmas concert where the entire concert, they were just like grooving a little bit, like no synchronized dances or anything, but they were just grooving to the music and singing, harmonizing, and they can do that well, And I wanted to say, yes, of course, Justin and JC can sing. And not all of the music videos show everybody singing, but everybody can sing. And I will finish it in my 1 minute. Basic complexity.
Okay. Oh, sorry. And all right, that is my mistake. All right, so after hearing that, I thought it was funny. Now, I don't think that the men are unable to sing because they're so untrue. They could definitely sing. Now, alright, granted, alright, with age, they might not be able to move the same way they did when they were younger, but like when it comes down to vocals, they still got it flat out. And that's what I
when you talk about them not being able to do it the same as younger, exactly the same as younger as far as dancing, there
Right.
are people like I don't want to throw any women under the bus or seem like I'm throwing them under the bus, but there are people who are able to do it, you know. And
That
also,
is.
I will say they're not quite older people, but the
Yeah.
guys from B2K,
Yeah.
yeah, like they were able to get it back together. Our, our mutual ex-husband, Raz B, still gets down. Like there's this one clip that's on Instagram showing this larger frame dude, and I love me some larger frame dudes. Yes, and Raz B is now a larger frame dude, but it's dancing around, and they're like, "This is Raz B dancing." And no, that wasn't Raz B. And Raz B actually posted about that. He was like, "That's not me. That's somebody else." But anyway, but yes, I believe that they can get out there. And I was going to say, as far as their vocals, yes, we know Justin, we know JC can sing. Yes.
Right.
But also Joey can sing. Joey Fatone can sing. And I remember years ago seeing a thing where he was talking about, no, his father was actually cried on camera talking about how he did not know. I didn't realize that my son could sing like that. I didn't realize he was this talented, but he is. And he has songs that he sings on at like I Thought She Knew. I think I Thought She Knew all five of them sing lead, but I Thought She Knew. And also Chris Kirkpatrick is the famous countertenor. He is a countertenor. And as far as videos, he actually, people remember, he sang lead on I Drive Myself Crazy.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, you remember. See, all right, fellow millennial, fellow older millennial. But yes, and Lance Bass sang lead on The Only Gift. The only gift I wanted was you. Anyway, yes, because he's the bass. Lance Bass is the bass in the group, and I love it. And yes, my one wrap up, Aaron Mack's final thoughts. I think the official word reuniting, yes. I think the official word is not that they are reuniting for the sake of a tour, maybe just like for some other gathering, but I don't think it's officially a tour. I'd love that. We'd love that, right? Wouldn't we be there? Would you do it? Anyway, but yeah. And nevertheless, I'm intrigued. I'm excited. Whatever it is they're going to give us. NSYNC, yes. And I love the fact that he gave his age being 37 because we're right around there. So he's what? If he just turned 37, that would mean he is an 86 baby. Anyway, base complexity, you're one square.
And I thought I already said it.
Nope, that was your full answer.
Okay.
But if you don't have anything, huh?
Oh, all right. Correction. I'm sorry. I just say they might be able to pull off their vocals I'm just not sure. But Dance Moves, they might have it. You know. But yeah, that's what I.
Well, Raz B still got it, and
Oh, I know.
his 5'5.5" self. And I still remember when he said that. Well, I read it in a magazine like Word Up magazine or something. Do you remember Word Up magazine?
Yes.
Yes. And I remember quick tangent. Freshman year. Now I came out to myself by then, but I wasn't out to other people. But I used to, in my dorm, I would sleep with the Word Up magazine with B2K on the cover right next to my bed, just arbitrarily, like nobody's gonna suspect that. But I was just so when I wake up, I could roll over and look at my Raspy. Anyway, but yes, in one of those articles, Raspy was like, "I'm 5'5.5," and I'm like, "Really? You're 5'5.5? Like, what are you? Also 9.5 years old?" Anyway, but I thought that was so cute. But I was like, all right, because everybody else was like, because they're all 5'5", except Omarion, who's 5'6". But they're on 5'5". I'm 5'5". Raspy, I'm 5'5.5". It's like, okay, cool. You better be.
That makes you feel better.
Yeah. Did you ever claim 5'5.5", Kevin?
I never did it.
Okay. And the hashtag VerseTV family yes or no question was, what was your first NSYNC album? And for me, I think it was No Strings Attached. I think. Everybody bought No Strings Attached, though. Like, I remember there was a big deal about how when they released, back in the days of having to get CDs, remember that? But how when No Strings Attached came out, the day it came out, it sold 2.5 million copies. The day it came out. But that was right on the heels of Backstreet Boys' album Millennium, I think. And their album, the day it came out, sold like 1.9 million copies. And NSYNC was like, we beat you, 2.5 million, But still, they're both exceptional. Anyway, Biz Complexity. What was your first NSYNC album? I know you've got. Oh, I know what it was, but I'm gonna let you answer.
Well, I already know what the answer is.
Yeah, it's because somebody told you. But yeah, no, I'm saying I'm gonna let you answer. I'm going to let you answer.
Actually, my first album by NSYNC was, well, unfortunately, their last album, Celebrity.
And you went back and got the older ones after?
I really did.
That was me with SWV, because my first SWV album was in high school, Release Some Tension. Then I went back and got their first album, It's About Time. And then I got New Beginning. Anyway, are you ready for topic B, of which you will go first?
Yes.
Share, subscribe, and share again. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Yes.
Hey Shorty 229 at We're In This Together. Hashtag VerseTV 229B.
What year was I born? What year was I born?
Alright, alright. So basically, I personally never ever understood why people lie about their age. I I didn't even do that when I was younger, trying to come across as older. Like, nah, if I was under 18, then I was under 18. Take it for what it is. Um, yeah, and that's what I have.
I say yes. It used to be a cute, quick, single swipe down to get to 1983. But now it's like a deep dive, multi swim to get there. I kind of think, side point, and I'm saying this extra because I'm saying it to you to respond if you have something. But I kind of think we were like the first people to experience aging with the swipe scroll down to your age thing, because people older than us, significantly older than us, that was before the web was where it is, that you'd have to scroll down to pick your age and stuff, you know? But we were like the start of that, as far as people being able to go from, we're young and cute and young and we just have to swipe down just a little bit to get to 1983. That's right there for us. And now it's like, like that big wheel. Would you agree, Kevin?
Yes.
Yes. You know, and we're like the first ones who had to go through that. Anyway, are you ready for topic C, of which I go first?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Or did you have anything else to say about swiping to your age?
No, it was. No, I don't.
Hashtag age gaps at Fam Problems. Hashtag VerseTV229C.
So I'm 22 years old. I've never been in a relationship before. And I went to this music festival in Barcelona a few weeks ago. I met this 40-year-old OnlyFans creator. I'm also an OnlyFans creator. And the first night we went to a party together, we really hit it off. That same night, he asked me to be his boyfriend. I was very vulnerable at the time. This felt like a fairy tale romance. I said yes. The next day, he told me that he was in love with me. By the third day, he asked me to go live with him in Brazil. And so I told him, I'm here in Europe for about 2 months, so maybe we should try staying together here in Europe before I go somewhere like Brazil. And I really thought that this man was the one. So by the end of the first week, things started to turn really sour. Exploring the city by myself, and I get a bunch of text messages where he's accusing me of using him for money. And he starts to list all these things that I owe him, like 160 for our first date, lube that I used once for a collab that he filmed. He's charging me for using a scoop of his protein powder. He's charging me for ruining this Louis Vuitton bag because there's a scratch right there. I didn't even want to wear that bag in the first place. He told me to wear that bag because my bag looked cheap and he didn't want to be seen walking around with me and that bag.
Well, I'm sure Kevin will be right back. I will say, I don't even have to really, but that is totally my problem with huge age gaps in dating. Because granted, that 40-year-old man is probably an 83 baby or an 82 baby. So it's like we are the older men now. Okay, I get it. But I agree with what Dan Savage said about with significantly older people dating significantly younger people, or with not significantly older people dating significantly younger, but with people dating people who are significantly younger and legal. It's like he said, the campsite rule is what's in effect, you know? Here we go. He's back, y'all. Yay. All right. Marvelous. All right.
Yeah.
And yeah, Dan Savage says that it's just like the campsite rule. Leave it better than you found it. That is your responsibility as the older person in the relationship. And I remember discussing with my gym training guy about, he's former military, right? And he talked about how parents learn quickly not to bring their 18-year-old daughter around the barracks because he's like, yeah, you know, with us younger but slightly higher than 18, but still like in that same range, men, like we're gonna do what we do. And he talked about this one woman who, 18-year-old, who she was like, she became he didn't use the term barracks wench, but it was barracks something. And that she was going from barracks to barracks, sleeping with a lot of the guys. And I don't even know her, but I defended her, right? On some, I'm curious if it's gonna be even better. I defended her to the extent, yes, this is better. I defended her to the extent that I was like, when you're young, that age, you don't know. You know, just like I always say, I was looking for love in all the wrong bedrooms. She was looking for love in all the wrong barracks, you know? And it's like, and I think he even said this to me too. He was like, yeah, but she was sleeping with everybody, you know? And I'm like, yeah, but she doesn't understand that. She doesn't see it that way. The way she saw it was, she's like, I'll sleep with him and I'll try and see what can happen, if we can maybe grow to something bigger. And then next thing you know, he says no. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna move on to this next one and see if that's somebody that I can connect with. And he's like, no, too, after they do what they do. And then she moves on to the third, and so forth and so on. And next thing you know, she develops a reputation for being a easy person, easy sexual person. And I think there was even a time that I had such a reputation online a little bit. I backed up very, very quickly though. But I was looking for love in all the wrong bedrooms. But if somebody turns you down, you know, you're like, well, I can just keep trying. I've got to try to find him. I know he's somewhere, you know, but you get that reputation. Anyway, I didn't even almost finish this. In basic complexity, I'll go back to it in my one-ish minute. Anyway, yours?
that entire situation to me was just riddled with nothing but red flags. That's there are sorry.
Okay, that food ain't coming today?
No.
You ain't coming? You ain't got nothing you can spare? Ain't gonna lose something? All right, kid. What's up with some crackers or something?
Don't have nothing.
All right, kid.
Well,
Sorry about that.
okay.
Like I said, that entire situation to me was riddled with red flags, and there are 3 strikes in my book. Alright, so he asks you to be his boyfriend the first night you met. The issue with that. 2, he tells you that he is in love with you. On the second day, issue in itself. And 3, he asks you to move in with him in Brazil, which is a whole different country. On the 3rd day, I see nothing but issues. That's what I have.
Going back to the woman in the barracks thing and connecting to what you're saying about him not seeing the red flags, that's more of exactly the problem. Because he did say in the video how he thought that he had found his one. And I get it. I get it. When we're younger, we hope that, we think that. That's what we think, and maybe you were different because you had our boyfriends and whatever, but for those of us who didn't at that age, when love seems to present itself, it seems like a perfect thing, a perfect opportunity. He was like, I thought I found my one. He said that because he thought he did, because the other guy was laying it on hard. But it's not because that other guy was insincere. It's just like it goes back to the being older thing. And when you get older, you get grumpy, as the guy from the Queer Love and Color book said. You get grumpy, and it's not as easy to connect with people. And I would say you're 40, we're 40, connect with some fellow older millennials, because he's an older millennial like us, but connect with somebody like us. Leave the 22-year-old alone. But when I was 19, I dated a dude who was 43. That means he was 24 the year I was born. So, but honestly, he treated me well. He gave me that campsite rule. Now, I would never let him buy me a doggone thing. I just liked spending time with him, and doing stuff with him, but yeah, I would just enjoy that. Now that I'm 40, And even when I was 30, I was like, I don't understand what somebody that old even saw in somebody who's 19. I could not. Nevertheless, like one of my friends was like, yeah, that seems sort of pedophilish to me. It wasn't pedophilish because I was grown. There was a big difference in our ages, and I would not do that. As I've said time and time again, at this point, I am like team 30 and above. Everybody 30 and above, it's all good. But at least team 30 and above, you know? And yeah. Yeah. You know, and when he talked about that purse thing and being like, yeah, when I was out, he thought that I was just cheating and whatever, and was sending me all of those texts. And I was like, that sounds exactly what somebody in that age range would think. And I get it, because that goes back to the grumpy thing, us being a little bit grumpy, you know, a little harder to connect. But don't spoil that 22-year-old young man. Go ahead and just fight it out with another 40-year-old. You know, you're both grumpy. You know, we're all a little grumpy, you know, but fight it out with somebody who's a little older, not somebody who's gonna feel like, oh, I thought I found my one. No. And maybe you two can hope that you find your ones together, but don't do that to a 22-year-old, because what's gonna happen is that's not leaving him better than you found him. He is gonna be worse with when he dates and finds his 22-year-old. He is gonna, I have so much to say, and I know I'm so over 1 minute. I'm sorry, Kevin. Thank you. Anyway, my wrap up is us early babies have got a little, us early 80s babies who are a little later in life, yes, but we can now, yes, okay. So us early 80s babies, we got the ability to connect and marry a little bit later in life, yes. We got, and now it might feel like we're a little behind the 8 ball in terms of connecting with somebody. So we feel like, oh, we're rushed, you know, because we weren't even able to do it in our 20s, but we can do it now. So we're like rushing, but don't rush, and go ahead and get you another fellow millennial, okay? Yes, and leave Gen Z alone. And also, I kind of love the fact that he's like, yes, I'm an OnlyFans creator, which is really just another way for saying I do porn. That's what he's saying. But I agree with George Carlin on that. I agree with George Carlin. George Carlin is like, I don't understand why it's not legal. Sex is legal. Selling is legal. Why isn't selling, and actually he said fucking. He said fucking is legal. Selling is legal. Why isn't selling fucking legal? And I kind of agree. And while porn is not illegal, generally, I feel that way about the negative feelings that people have about porn. I'm like, you know, people should be positive. Now, I know it seems like I'm stigma. I know it seems like I'm speaking from a standpoint of somebody who's done porn, and I'm like, yeah, you know, we need to be more understanding. No, I've never done porn at all. I've also never sold sex. I do feel that as a society, we should be more gentle with those who work in the sex work industry. Anyway, basic complexity. I'm sorry. I had a whole lot to say. Thank you.
Go for it.
No. It's on you. I finished.
Okay.
Oh, was that just like last week when I just took a big gulp of water and you were like, yeah, I'm done. Go ahead, swallow that shit and go ahead. And now, see, I got you back. I wasn't trying to get you back, but yeah. If you're ready, and then I'll do the Verse TV family yes or no question afterwards.
Go ahead.
Oh, you know what? You're right, because it is. I do need to do it. No. I'll do it. If you don't have anything else to say, then I'll do it now. Do you have nothing else to say?
No.
Okay. The hashtag VerseTV family yes or no question is, I think the largest age gap that I've had was being consistently with a dude who was 24 years older than me. And again, 1943. I think that was one of the largest age gaps that I had consistently. The question is, have you ever exceeded a 24-year age gap with a partner? Somebody who was 24 years older than you, maybe. Consistently, not just a one-night hookup, but consistently. Basic complexity, are you ready for our special topic D?
Yeah, sir. Hold on just a minute.
Well, it's topic D. It'll be after the video. I'll go ahead and play the video, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Hashtag peak ranks at Detroit Jarrell. Hashtag VerseTV 229D.
Ranking Beyonce's albums from number 7 to number 1. Let's go. At number 7, I'm putting this album here not because it wasn't amazing, but it just wasn't for me. You know what I mean? Like literally was not intended for me. So I'm gonna put number 7, Lemonade. Number 6, I'm gonna choose, I know y'all gonna kill me for this, I Am Sasha Fierce. I know that's her like most commercially successful album with some of her biggest hits, but yeah, it's gonna be I Am Sasha Fierce. At number 5, it's gonna be Self-Titled, Beyonce. These people gonna kill me. At number 4, I'm going with Dangerously in Love. Woo! Number 3, I'm gonna go with B-Day. And number 2, this is the real battle for me right now, honestly. I'm gonna be honest between these two. I'm gonna put Renaissance at number 2 and my all-time favorite, 4 at number 1. That's it. Happy birthday, Beyonce.
All right. So this is our back and forth. Now you can start with your number 7, or do you need me to start with my number 7?
Shoot. Wait, guys.
I'll start with my number 7.
All right.
So, and of course, every album is exceptional and love. You know, we're gay millennials. We love Beyonce. You know, we don't have to stand for her, but we do have to love her. It is written in the contract, okay? So, yes, anyway, but yes. And every single one of those albums played a significant role in my growth. So for me, I will say number 7 is the album Beyonce, which came out December 2013. And we'll share a special memory and our favorite song from the album. My special memory is I remember it was a special release. Like it was secret, like, and everybody was like, "Oh, Beyonce just dropped an album. That's amazing." Blah blah blah, you know. And I was like, "Oh, that's cute." That's how I felt at that time. And it's still not my favorite album, but I was like, "Oh, that's cute." And honestly, I know I'm gonna get my gay card revoked, but I never got the album Beyonce. Maybe one day I'll get it since, streaming, right? But I never got the album Beyonce. Now, my favorite song from that album, though, which I heard like at some point listening outside of, I think I heard it played somewhere, and then I fell in love with it, and I was like, "Ooh, what's this album?" And I was like, "Oh, it's Beyonce." The song is Standing on the Sun remix. I love that song. Standing on the Sun. All right. Kevin, are you ready for your number 7 and to turn your camera horizontal?
Sorry. Actually, my number 7, coincidentally, is also Beyonce subtitle album. Yeah, I know.
Do you have a favorite song and a special memory?
Favorite song, yes. Special memory, no. And trying to think what is the name of the song.
I woke up like this.
No, it does feature somebody. It's like, I think her name starts with a C.
Okay, that song. Well,
I don't know how to pronounce it.
that's cool. I will also say I remember at that time, Beyonce, that I woke up like this was popular because that was from that album, Beyonce. And I was like, oh, okay, it was cute. It's cute. I woke up like this, flawless. That was the song, Flawless. Anyway, my number 6 is Yes. And I'm going to keep talking like that dude was like, I know everybody's going to be upset with me. I'm sorry, y'all. But my number 6 Beyonce album is Lemonade from April 2016. And as far as memories of that album, I remember that was my first time being with somebody I thought I was going to marry. I know. Y'all, I thought it. And he actually, as far as his song that he liked, I remember he would like the song Formation, because he was worried. Yes, he was. He watched some YouTube videos that scared him into believing that Beyonce was in the Illuminati, and on that song, the first line is, "Y'all haters corny with that Illuminati mess," and I remember I almost said his name. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I didn't, but I remember he would always say to me, he'd be like, yeah, because, one of the rules of the Illuminati is if you're in the Illuminati, you can't talk down about the Illuminati. And I'm like, where in the world did you get that rule book from for the Illuminati. But okay, as long as it has you feel comfortable about Beyonce, it was cool. And he would dance around and dance to that. He loved dancing to that song. And I thought that was cute. And I thought it was cute when he would dance to it, you know? And Formation. Now, as far as my favorite song on that album, I would say it's Love Drought. Basic Complexity, your number 5, number 6.
Lemonade.
All right. And favorite song and memory?
Let's say Lemonade, and from favorite song from Lemonade would have been crap. And would have been there we go. Would have been Formation.
All right. So my number 5, and prepare your number 5 as well, so you can be have it up and ready to go. My number 5 is I Am Sasha Fierce. I'm sorry, y'all. It is 2008's CD. Honestly, that was back in the days of CDs, right? And I Am Sasha Fierce was a 2 CD thing. And I don't think I ever played the I Am side. Maybe once. And I'm sorry, I didn't like the song Halo. I know it got played a lot, and it's cute now. It's cute, but I didn't love it. And just like the guy was saying, that was perhaps her most commercially successful album. But I did not like I Am. I loved Sasha Fierce. Yeah, Sasha Fierce. And I know it's like, that's interesting. And I remember a dude who I went on a date with, just a date. He loved the song Single Ladies Put a Ring on It. And I remember it came on the radio when I was driving us somewhere. And his little cute self, yes, he was cute. He got all excited like, ooh, Single Ladies Put a Ring on It. If you like it, then you should put a ring on it. Like dancing to it and everything. And I was like, that was at the time that I started being more comfortable with the concept of a feminine guy, you know? And I was like, wow, he is really feminine, but he's cute. Anyway, yes, that's how I felt. But as far, also another memory, around that time, I consistently work on music. I am a musician. I'm Phi Mu Alpha, right? And music is in me. I'm always making music. And I presented one of my songs to a guy that I was working with at that time, and he laughed at me heartily to my face. I played it, and I was like, I know it's a rough. I did that whole like downplaying thing that people do when they present art. I'm like, I know it's like a rough copy, but it's something that I enjoy, and I just want you to hear. Like, what do you think of it? And he literally laughed like, that is awful. Like, there are things that are bad in the world, but that is awful. And I was like, okay, thank you for breaking my spirits. Thank you. He was like, that is awful. That is horrible. I was like, wow, okay, thanks. Anyway, my favorite song on that album is actually, it is from the Sasha Fierce side, but I remember I always used to think that it would be better, not that it would be better, but that it would be a song on the I Am side, but Scared of Lonely. Oh my gosh. Like at first I was going to say it was Single Ladies Put a Ring on It, but I was going through the track list and I was like, Scared of Lonely. Why is that? That's familiar to me. I really think I like that song. And I played it, and oh my gosh, I just kept that on repeat because I love that song. That is still my jam. And technically it is the last song on the Sasha Fierce side. Anyway, Basic Complexity, your number 5. So my number 4 is oh my gosh, I'm sorry. But my number 4 is B-Day, which came out, and I don't know if I named the year of I Am Sasha Fierce, 2008, if I didn't say it. And B-Day, of course, 2006. And as far as the memory that I have, I remember Beyonce, as far as us gays, you know, I remember feeling like Beyonce was reaching out to our community, even though that was at the time, oh my gosh, that was at the time that I started kind of going back into the closet. In college, I was out. No, I wasn't out, but in college, I was fully comfortable with myself. Right after college, I was like, maybe I need to change. Anyway, that album, I still, even though I was in that middle ground, I was like, that is so cool how she featured these gay designers and she didn't speak of them like, she was like, didn't make a spectacle of them. It was just like, hey, you know, I work with these guys on this album and they're guys who dress like women and it's super cool. She didn't say they're guys who dress like women, but she didn't make a spectacle out of the fact that she was working with 2 gay designers. And I used to think that was so beautiful. Like that's super cool. Also, wow, I had another, well, I have another memory. That album, that was during the time that I dated this dude who, he was like, we broke up because he gave me a, man, you can't handle a thug. Man, everybody said they want a thug, but you can't handle a thug. Everybody said they want a thug, but they don't know what to do with a thug when they finally get him. And what was so interesting about him was, and I feel that revealing all of this is revealing who he is, but I don't necessarily believe he watches #VerseTV, so he's not going to care at all. But he actually had a rough first part of his life, and then he was adopted at 13 by a family with a substantial amount of money. And I almost named, I think I could, in a very well-to-do area outside of Baltimore City. So he did have life on both sides. You know, he had that rough life from 0 to 13, but he was adopted by a family with a good amount of money. So he was still like hanging on to that, I'm a thug, but I live in upper suburbia. Anyway, Basic Complexity, do you have your 4 and 5, 5 and 4? Oh, I didn't even name my favorite songs, so you can still look it up. My favorite song was none other than what started as a hidden track, but on the deluxe edition, it was a normal track, Worldwide Woman. And I used to say, because again, that was at the time that I was trying to find my way through, maybe I can live a heterosexual life. I would change the lyrics to, instead of saying, I'm a worldwide woman, I'd be like, I'm a worldwide winner, WWW, some fun anywhere, worldwide winner, WWW. You can log on anywhere, your dude can take you there. Yes. Oh, I used to love that song. I still love that song. It's a great song. Anyway, Basic Complexity.
5 is Renaissance.
Okay.
And 4 is Dangerously in Love.
All right. Well, we will actually do our top 3 for week 131. So, not 130, but we'll do our top 3 week 131. Now, are we ready for topic E? The Cerebral TV 229.
Yep.
Hashtag Cerebral TV 229 at JCraft Books at NiaCC13 hashtag VerseTV 229E.
So my 14-year-old is in high school this year, and he's in advanced history, and his history teacher did something I wish all history teachers would do. So they staged a fight with another teacher. And after the fight, in which the other teacher was asked to leave the room, the students were all asked to write down what they saw of the incident, so that way they could send that report to the principal. And the next day they came in and found out that it was all staged to show that none of their reports were exactly the same. And some of the reports were different depending on which teacher the students sympathized with or what angle they sat in the room, to show that history is written by the people that observed it, from the angle they observed it, from their history, their culture. And it really does matter who writes history.
So recently I was on a 4-hour red-eye flight, and I was seated next to this older white gentleman. But the conversation started because he noticed I was wearing a law school hat, and he was like, oh, did you go to that university for law school? And I was like, no, I went for undergrad, like my sister and my dad went for law school. After I said that, he was just like, huh. So later on in the conversation, we're talking about education again. He's asked me about my family's background educationally, and he's telling me about his family, and somehow the topic came to student debt. I was just saying it's crazy how expensive college is, so much to the point that even if you get into a school that you really want to go to, you probably can't go if you can't afford it. And he responds along the lines of, yeah, well, there's academic scholarships for people who work really hard and are really smart. Like my kids, they worked really hard and were really smart. He basically just kept on saying, like, if you were actually smart and deserved to be there and weren't just there because of affirmative action, maybe you'd have a chance at getting a scholarship. What he doesn't know is that my family has a knife next to my name because I cut to the core, and I sure did know how to burst this white man's bubble. So I said, that's awesome for your kids, but the types of schools that I aspired to go to don't give out merit-based scholarships because everybody who gets in is just really smart. And that's when it hit me, that this man was trying to imply that, like, my family was not actually very smart. We just got to where we were because of affirmative action. And you know what? Even if we did, you had 465 years to get ahead, and you still couldn't make it to where we are. That's a personal problem.
All right. And again, that's hashtag Cerebral TV 228. And for the hashtag Cerebral TV, we just play it, and it's something to think about. Some things to think about. And we don't comment. So Again, we'll do the top 3 for week 131 on hashtag VerseTV for Beyonce. And I'm Aaron Mack, and this has been week 229. And you can find me, Aaron Mack, AARONMCK, at BERSTEAV.com. And you can find hashtag VerseTV all over social media. Hashtag VERSTEAV, and even at VERSTEAV. And go ahead, check us out. Again, we're all over social media, and we're here every single Monday at 9:35 p.m. Every single Monday. Basic Complexity, where can we find you,
All right. I could definitely be found. Well, all right. First off, I could be definitely found on Instagram at Basic Complexity, and as I commonly say, you take 2 words, basic and complexity, push them together in the space. So BASIC, then capital COMPLEXITY. And that is for Instagram. Now, and spelled the same way, the email that, well, you can contact me at if you want to. Basic Complexity at versetv.com. And that's Verse TV is VERSTEAV.com. And then lastly, I'm also on TikTok, and this one is a little different because someone already took Basic Complexity. So I had to very slightly change it. So it's capital M, lowercase y, then Basic Complexity. So capital BASIC, capital COMPLEXITY. And that is on TikTok. That's what I have.
All right, my basic complexity. All right, so that does it for week 228. We will return for week 230 right at 9:35 p.m. And we'll talk to you later. Hashtag VerseTV family. Peace. Hashtag VerseTV.com. Yes. Stay blessed. Good night, everyone.